Здравствуйте, community of hope in Wilsonville, Oregon. My name is Vladimir, and I'm a shoebox recipient from Kiev, Ukraine. I received one of these beautiful and colorful shoeboxes from Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child, when I was only 9 years old. And what a blessing this gift was, not only for myself, but also for the whole family. And for me, it was extra special because this was my first Christmas gift ever. And the gospel came with it. But it wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the wonderful, hardworking people like you. And speaking of wonderful, hardworking people, I hear that last year you almost packed 100 shoe boxes. If you think about it, that's almost 100 gospel opportunities that you've been a part of. Let me tell you, your hard work does not go unnoticed. And so today we'd just like to share my testimony with you in hopes that perhaps it would encourage you to pack as many shoe boxes as you can, especially this year. Now more than ever, children need to hear the gospel. And the beautiful thing about these colorful shoe boxes is that not only do children get a beautiful gift just like this one, filled with new toys, school supplies, and hygiene items, but most importantly, children get introduced to the best gift giver, to Jesus. Children get a gospel booklet in their own language with these shoe boxes. Not only that, but children are also invited to come and participate in a 12-lesson discipleship program called The Greatest Journey, where children learn more about who Jesus is, how to have a relationship with Jesus, and how to share Jesus with others. So it's all about evangelism, discipleship, and multiplication. So this beautiful shoebox is more than just a gift. It's a gospel opportunity. And when I was 9 years old, I received one of these shoe boxes. And I come from a family of 9 children. My father was an underground pastor in Kiev, Ukraine. My father risked his life preaching the gospel on the streets of Kiev at the time when it wasn't popular or allowed. And because my father was a believer living in a communist country, he was hindered from advancing that society. So my father had to settle for low-paying jobs, and every time he was captured and written up, it greatly affected his pay even more. So it got to the point to where we had to take turns to go outside to play because we didn't have enough shoes for everybody in the family. So I'd take my shoes, I'd put them on, go outside and play with my friends, come back, take the shoes off, and give it to the next person in line. But sharing shoes is not the only thing we had to share. We also had to share our toothbrushes. So I'd take my toothbrush, brush my teeth, and when I'm finished, I'd give it to my mom, and my mom would wash it with hot water and soap, and then she would give it to the next person in line. And we didn't have access to a lot of toys, especially new toys, but it didn't stop us from being creative and making our own toys. We made the yo-yos out of Coca-Cola caps, and we played with our shoes, pretending they were cars. And as for food, we pretty much grew up on rice and potatoes, which I often jokingly say that we were vegetarians before it was even cool or popular. And we grew up in a tiny 3-bedroom apartment with barely any heating or cooling. We didn't have a washer and a dryer, so my mom, she had to do all the laundry by hand. And because of the amount of laundry that my mom had to do, her skin would often crack and bleed. And mom, she would stay up all night, and she would make socks and underwear for us out of old clothes or donated material. So we grew up very poor on the inside of the apartment, heavily persecuted on the outside. But in the middle of all that, we were invited to come to a Christmas celebration. And this was in the middle of cold Ukrainian winter. We had to hop on the bus and then on the tram just to get to this place. And when we pulled up to this place, I was walking in at the same time with the girl that I recognized from my class. But I was very surprised to see this girl there because I knew that this girl was not a Christian. And for some reason, I assumed that this event was only for Christians. But to my surprise, this place was filled with all kinds of people from all walks of life. And when we walked into this place, it's like we transitioned from this black and white Ukrainian winter to a colorful room of joy and laughter. There was so much happy music, beautiful welcoming smiles. But most importantly, they presented the gospel to us in so many different and unique ways through singing, dancing, cartoons, movies, animations, flannel boards. It's like the gospel came alive. And then at the very, very end, they brought out these beautiful and colorful shoe boxes. And when I opened my shoebox, it's like everything that I imagined playing with as a child, it's like it manifested inside of a shoebox. I had my own yo-yo. I didn't have to make yo-yos out of Coca-Cola caps anymore. I had my own toothbrush. I didn't have to share a toothbrush with anybody anymore. And my toothbrush was like a rock star toothbrush. It was like the one to rule them all. It had so much color, so much personality. No one in my city had anything similar to that toothbrush. I also had my own Hot Wheel cars. I didn't have to play with my shoes pretending they were cars. I had this soap that was like the whitest white I've ever seen. So squeaky clean, so slick, so smooth. It had the print of the dove on top. It was like the Holy Spirit in a box because it sanctified the whole box for me. The whole box smelled like it. I also had this dental floss that I thought was candy. But most importantly, I felt loved. And I always say that God is love. When you show love to people, you show God to people. When people experience love, they experience God. And once you experience that God's unconditional love, you will not walk away unchanged. And that's what you get to be a part of when you pack a shoebox with Samaritan's Purse Operation Christmas Child. And I am just so honored and blessed to serve alongside of all of you. May God bless you all. Bye-bye.